welcome to EDMS, where we strive to make engineering, graphic and design as simple as possible. In today's lesson, we will look at the geometrical construction of an ellipse in the grade 10 HSE Workbook, page 4-20. And we're going to start by reading the question or the task. The question is as follows. Copy the given figure and all constructions must be shown. This is the given figure. And the first thing that you'll notice that there are two ellipses in this given drawing. Don't stress. We are going to show you how to do this. It is not difficult. So you have already a vertical and a horizontal axis or center line. They can be referred to as the major axis and the minor axis. We are going to start by putting on the border or the frame for the big ellipse. And if you look at the information here, we can see that it is in length 144 and in height it is 96. So we're going to take 144 divided by 2. 144 divided by 2 is going to be 72. So you're going to take your ruler and we are going to make a 72 millimeter dot on the vertical line to the left and 144 to this side in total over there. That should also be 72. Yep, over there. We're going to make our marks. On those marks, we are going to draw our vertical lines. Light in construction. This forms part of the border or the frame where the ellipse needs to fit into. The height is 96 in total, the big one. 96. So 96 divided by 2 is going to be 48. So we need to go 48 up and 48 down from the center. 48 up. There we're going to make a mark. And then in total it is 96. Yes, 96. So we're going to make a mark there at 96. On those two marks, we're going to draw our horizontal construction lines. And there we go. This is the border or the frame where the ellipse needs to fit into. And it is crucial and very important that you do all of this in construction, which means it is light. This should not interfere with your final drawing. So step number 1 will be, we're going to take our ruler and we're going to draw a diagonal line from there to there. So where that center line touches the border, we're going to draw a diagonal line, light in construction. That is step number 1. Step number 2 will be, you're going to take your compass, you're going to put the sharp point in the middle, you're going to take your lead to the border or the edge over there, and you're going to take that arc all the way back until you get to the vertical center line. I'm just going to extend my center line a bit, it's too short. You're going to extend it all the way till we get to the center line. Then what you're going to do is, whatever you went out there, you need to bring it back. So from there, you take your lead to the arc, which is there. And this distance you're going to bring back to this diagonal line. Like so. Then what you want to do is you want to divide this line perpendicular exactly in the middle. So we want to bisect that line. I'm going to call it a B. And the only way that you can do that is by using your compass. We are going to take the lead to more than half of that length. So the middle point will be about there. So I'm going to make it more than half, about there. So let's put it there. I want a bigger arc just to show you. So I'm going to draw an arc on this side. Lighting construction. Then I'm going to take this point and we're going to put it at A. I'm going to repeat this process. I have not changed the dimension on my compass. Whatever you put here, you need to do it the same on this side. Now it's clear to you and to me that those two arcs meet over there and they meet over there. Through those 2 points, we need to draw a light construction line all the way through the border until we get to the vertical center line. That point and that point on that center line is the golden points. Those points we need to mirror. So I'm just going to highlight it for you to understand. That point we need to put on the side now. The same distance from the middle to there. We're going to take it and we're going to put it on this side. The same applies for this one. We're going to take it. We're going to put it at the top. So you're going to use your compass. You put your sharp point in the middle. You take the lead to that point. And you're going to put it on this side. So I'm just going to highlight it for you for visual purposes. Please, you don't highlight. I'm just showing you the point. Then you put your sharp point in the middle. You take this point and you're going to put it at the top. So there's your point on that vertical center line. I'm just going to highlight it for you for visual purposes. Now you know you need to make your V and the V that is upside down. So there's the one line. So I'm going to go from that point through that line to form that V. You need to find ways that make sense for you. This is a simple way that I remember how to do this. So there's the V, then the V that is upside down. From that point through that point, light in construction, all the way to that side and all the way through that point on that side. So there's the V upside down. Now we want to go and close the V and the V that is upside down. And we're going to form them with an arc and we're going to make them pizza slices now. So I'm going to take my compass. I'm going to put the sharp point on that point over there. I'm going to take the lead to the border or the block. And then I want to go draw in an arc only within those two lines. You're not going to go past them. It's from there to there. Nice and dark. You're going to do the exact same down here. Sharp point there at the top. You're going to take your lead to the border, and before you draw you need to check. If you need to adjust, then you adjust. But check before you draw. Very important. Take the lead to the border. And if you are happy, you put it in as a solid arc. Nice and dark. From there all the way to there. Now we want to close it at the edges. So it's simple. You're going to put your sharp point on that point now. You're going to take your lead to the border. And before you draw, you're going to check if it does get to those 2 points. Mine does perfectly. And then once you are happy, you can put it in. It is very important that you take your time with the construction. Otherwise, your points won't line up. So rather take your time. Make sure that your points line up. Then I'm going to take this point. I'm going to put it on this side. I'm going to take the lead to the border. Before I draw, I need to check and make sure if that line does get to those points. And if you are happy, you can put it in. Nice and dark, nice and solid. You put in that arc. Okay, perfect. And there's your ellipse done. Now there's still a second ellipse that we need to put in. We are not going to change these points. But what we are going to do is we are going to change the border 12 millimeters inwards. So I'm going to go 12 millimeters inwards. I'm going to make a mark. 12 millimeters inwards. I'm going to make a mark. The same here, 12 millimeters and 12 millimeters. Why are we doing this? Because we want to keep the arcs parallel to these ones. So you don't need to go and draw a block again and do the construction again. You can if you want to, but it's going to take you too long and it's going to be very messy. So we are going to go down 12 millimeters. So from there to here, I'm going to show you from there at the top, we're going to go down 12 millimeters. There is your 12. I'm just going to make a mark. We're going to do the same down here. From the border, 12 up. We're going to make a mark. Then we are going to use the same point, which is there. Now you're going to take your lead to that 12 dot you've made, which is over there. And you're going to draw in that arc only within the V. From there to there. You're going to do the same for the one down here. Sharp point there at the top. You're going to take the lead to that point you've made. And you put in that arc as a solid arc from there to there. Don't go past those lines. You stay within those borders there as well. Then we're just going to go 12 in from that side and 12 in from that side. So 12 is over there. And 10, 11, 12 is over there. The same story. Sharp point there. Lead to that new point. And before you draw, double check first to see if that arc will get to the 2 points. Mine does perfectly. It is so lacquer nice when they line up. But when they don't, it's not that lacquer. That one done. The same on this side. We're going to check before we draw. It should line up from there all the way to that one. If you're happy, you can put it in. Nice and solid. All the way from there to there. Perfect. Now there's still a star and a circle that we need to put in here. And that has a diameter of 48. Half of 48 is 24. So I'm going to put my compass on 24 to put in that circle. 24. Sharp point in the middle. And we're going to put in that circle as a solid circle. Nice and dark. There's our circle. Now, looking at this, we can go and play around with our triangles. And we can see that those lines goes at 30 degrees. And that line goes at 30 degrees. And that line goes at 30 degrees in that direction. And that one 30 degrees in that direction. And there's a clear common point, which is where the circle touches the center line. So from that center point, on the circle. It's a solid line from there all the way until you get to the arc of the circle. There's one. The same with that one. Center point all the way until you touch the arc of the circle. Then this side, the opposite direction, 30 degrees, and there 30 degrees, and then you can just close it on these two sides, over there and over there. And that is how you do the drawing on the right on page 4-20. Thank you so much for joining, and please consider subscribing and liking this video. It gives me an indication if you found this helpful. Take care, and I'll see you in the next lesson.